Okay people, so welcome back again. I'm trying to get out of the habit of saying hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, but I still have to welcome you. So thank you for tuning in, for watching. This video is a continuation of the teacher series which I started off last year or the start of the year, but now I have more to say. So this video is all about, let me check my notes, comparing schools. Okay, so I've worked in a mainstream school. I've worked in 3 different mainstream schools, and I'm now working in a pupil referral unit. Totally different. I've worked in a Jewish school, a Catholic school, and a non-faith school. So the experiences there were all very different. However, the workload was all the same. Very high workload. Like teachers in general, we do work hard, and it's not just, I feel like the easiest part of teaching is actually standing up in front of a group of kids and talking or whatever. That's not the difficult part. For me, it was the workload. So in mainstream, you have to, you know, obviously you plan your lessons, you mark, you're not just a teacher, you're like a mentor, you're like a mother, a big sister or whatever to these kids. So it's a lot. It's mentally and emotionally draining, apart from actually being physically draining when you're there Monday to Friday and whatever. Mainstream is so different from working in a PRU, a pupil referral unit. So the workload is cut. I can honestly say that this academic year, my work-life balance has been amazing. Like, I never even knew it was even possible to have this type of work-life balance. Like, people who work in PRUs, don't get me wrong, it's difficult. It's a different type of stress. It's not the same as mainstream, but the workload, my gosh, God is good, because like I said, I didn't even know what a PRU was, I don't think. So I started, I've kind of said this before, but I started working in education as soon as I left uni. So 2013, September 2013. I was a learning support assistant, then a trainee, then an NQT. So each year kind of like working my way up, shall I say. I'm now going, so what? It's now July 2018. So September 2018, I will now start my 6th academic year in education. And it's been tough. It's been tough, especially I know last year around January 2017, I just knew I'm not staying in education. I knew that by May the 31st, I am handing in my resignation. I'll sign up to an agency and do supply work, let's say, for a while, but I'm not coming back to education. I'm not going to be a teacher. I'm done. I need to leave because I was so stressed. I was tired. Teachers are overworked in general, and I honestly did not feel like I was placed in it. Like, then again, it was my choice, but after being in the school, I didn't feel like it was a good school. I didn't feel like I was growing. I didn't feel like there was going to be any chance for me to progress or anything. And you know, I'm not trying to be in the same place 5 years time from now. That's not me. So yeah, I said, I'm just going to leave this school. I'm done. And I prayed about it, and I said, God, you know what? I don't really want to go on interviews because I don't want to stay in education anyway. I want to leave. If I'm going to stay in education, that school has to find me. Like, they have to call me, because I'm tired. I don't want to teach. I need to find something else to do. And it's so funny because the day I handed in my resignation, the actual day, I got a phone call from an old colleague that I used to work with. She reached out to me and said, are you happy? And I was just like, you know, I'm ready to lie and be like, yeah, I'm happy where I am because I'm not coming back to that school. But she's like, no, there's a position at a PRU. And I was just like, a PRU? What's that? Like, because I've never heard of it. Like, well, I didn't really know what it was. But yeah, she told me there was a position there, and I said, God, you came through for me real quick, because I just wasn't expecting to go back into education or to stay in education. I've been at that school for one academic year. It's coming to an end now. My first academic year in a PRU, and it is very challenging. Like I said, in mainstream, for me, it was more the workload. The behaviour, yes, you're going to have kids that are naughty or are disruptive, but I mean, you have maybe 1 or 2 kids out of a class of 30. But when you're in a PRU, it's like they've dumped all the bad kids into one place, so you have to deal with all these different challenging behaviour, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Anyone who knows about PRUs, you know that the kids who come into there, They could be involved in some very serious things, or it might just be minor things, but you just don't know what you're going to get. The children have needs, social, emotional, mental health needs, behavioral issues, you know, family life, home life might not be great. So there's a lot that they're coming in with, so you really need to be as understanding as possible. It can be mentally and emotionally draining. I've found that a lot this year. It's just, I don't know, working in a PRU is just so different. Once I plan for one Key Stage 3 class, that's what I'm teaching to all the others. So I don't need to plan multiple different lessons. Key Stage 4, Year 10 and Year 11 have been kind of meshed together. So it's just kind of going over, recapping a lot of the work. So like I said, it's not too much vigorous planning that I have to do. The classes are smaller. So in a mainstream class, I think at one point I had about 33 kids in one class. But in a PRU, I've only had 14 max. I had a Key Stage 4 class, and yeah, 14 students max. So, and I think sometimes, depending if the kids come to school or if they don't come to school or whatever, I might only have one student or no one will turn up. So it's more intimate. It makes it easier to teach because I can just like focus on one specific thing, or I can focus on a specific need of a student. Not as many options in terms of subjects are offered because it is a smaller provision. It's not as big as mainstream, but they still do a lot of practical work. Like in science there are practicals. They do food technology, computing, PE, and you know, just they have enrichment as well, where people from outside come and do a session with them. So it is very different, but it's beneficial to the kids as well. And a good thing about working in the PRU, or the PRU that I work in, is that there are mentors. There are behaviour mentors that actually talk to these kids, having one-to-one sessions to make sure that, you know, we know what's going on, we know how you're feeling, what you're thinking, so we can help you in the right way. And I guess in a mainstream school it could be a lot harder. Not all the children get that kind of opportunity to have a mentor because everyone is so busy. But because this is a smaller provision, there are mentors available. Yeah. When it comes to comparing schools, I would say for me, what has worked so far is being in a PRU. This is the first academic year I can actually say I've thoroughly enjoyed teaching science. I hope this helps someone who's thinking about leaving education or leaving teaching. You know, maybe try out a different school. Try out a PRU or a smaller school or something, you know, just maybe don't give up just yet, because I was ready, so ready to give up. But just kind of, just wait and see. Or find what works for you, what type of school environment would work for you. Yeah, that's my advice.